All right, that video was put up in 2018. It's 2025 now. It's still making me money. That one video that was put up. So ad revenue definitely is a way to make money. My channel makes money from ad revenues. At the same time, you can also earn through the channel, like affiliate marketing, whether you're selling products or even e-learning courses. Some of the people that I feature on my channel, they have e-learning courses, all right? And I put the link on the description of their video. They make me an affiliate, right? If someone buys through my link, then I get an affiliate fee. So that's also a way. Sponsorship, paid sponsorships could be a possibility. I've had a lot of requests for paid sponsorships. I've just never done any because it's not a route that I want to go through. But at the same time, you can also use the numbers for leverage. Okay, like if I want to get a book published with a big house publisher, right? I have something to show. Doesn't mean I'll get it, but I can walk up to a publisher and say, hey, you know what? I've got almost 1 million subscribers. Technically I'm an influencer. But we can get to that. Whether am I really an influencer? That's a whole other question, but I still have something to show. When I woke up, I say, hey, I've got almost 1 million subscribers on my YouTube channel. So, people want to have that conversation. So different forms of how you can monetize it, if you ask me. Yeah, thank you.
Do you know the difference between Facebook ads, Facebook monetization and YouTube monetization? Any difference?
Yes, I think there's a difference. Do I know it? No, because when I first started looking into Facebook, it got so complex and confusing, I gave up. Yeah, so I just dropped it all together. I don't know. Do you have any clue? Yeah, so I just dropped it because I just found it too complex and confusing. So I was like, whereas YouTube is quite straightforward. You qualify for the partner program and you just turn it on and you just leave it in their hands. However much they give you, you just take and say thank you. Even if it's $3, it's still $3. Yay.
So maybe to ask, because I saw some of the people inside I know. So I guess it's really, is there like specific topic or it's like, okay, all come together, everybody talk one topic? Was that how you all started?
Oh, for my channel?
Yeah, your channel. Because I saw some of the people inside.
Okay, like who? I'm just curious.
I know Stacy.
Okay.
So I've seen some of the names inside as well.
Okay. So when I first started the YouTube channel, remember, right? It was part of an event. My event was called Ideas and Inspiration. Ideas and Inspiration was my version of a TED Talk. All right. So I started it. The theme of the event was about, inspiring stories and powerful ideas. All right. So I had people from all walks of life. Didn't necessarily have to be a professional speaker. But if they had an interesting idea or an inspiring story, we would provide end-to-end just to help them take stage and deliver that speech to the world. The YouTube channel became a platform we could reach the world, because locally, every time I had about 300 people attending the event, right? But YouTube became the avenue that it could reach the world, all right? And that was how it started. So of course, when the pandemic hit, that's when I stopped live events, but the channel was doing well at that time. And I continued making content for the channel. Now it became home-based, studio-based. Right now, it's like podcast interviews. You'll actually see me on the channel as well. So my theme isn't niche, all right? It's broad, all right? It's still self-development. It is still about putting forth an inspiring idea or a story that has the power to change someone else's life. Because of that, no two topics are always the same, right? Like today, I can put up a video on how to 10x your memory. Next video could be, how can men help with women empowerment? And the very next video could be, can you really lose belly fat? Okay, so a channel like mine has broad appeal, but it's not niche. I can have large numbers of followers, but doesn't mean my followers watch every video. Some come for this video, very next video is not of their interest anymore. So the next video can have very low views. As compared to a very niche channel, if your channel, say for example, is about photography, and you're really consistent and you create the kind of content that really people love and engage with, you can have far lesser subscribers than me. You can have 50,000 subscribers, but you could be getting way more views per video than me, which means you may be making way more money than me. All right, even though I have 700,000. So sometimes it's all about the optics as well. The number of subscribers, right, is really not the best indicator of how successful the channel is. I never look at number of subscribers. I always look at your last 10 videos, what is your average views? If I go to your channel, all right, which was what I was doing just now, so I've seen some of your channels just now, that to me is, I don't care how many hundreds of thousand subscribers you have. If your views is like 10, 20, 30, 40, below 100, to me, the channel is not doing well. And that's the fact of it. And the reason the channel is doing well probably is because your content isn't engaging enough. That's why people don't want to watch, or you're not doing enough to put the word out, And the worst case scenario is you're not even watching your own videos, so a few different things. But number of views is what matters more, because number of views is what you get paid for. You never get paid for how many 100,000 subscribers you have. You get paid for views. Yeah, so anyway.
Okay, before we ask the next question, maybe you can just pass the mic to JB. Just share a bit about yourself.
Okay. Hi everyone. Sorry I'm so late. I'm actually a bit sick, so I think my meds kind of knocked me out and I totally missed my alarm. So, and then coming here looking for the place, I was like, oh, so I really apologize for being late. So my name is Jamie. I have created on YouTube for 5+ years now. I have about 4K plus subscribers. I think I'm still. I used to talk a lot about career tips. Now I do a lot more on self-development and entrepreneurship. And I have been very inspired by Renee to explore blogging. So I'm in the era now.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So we have one question here.
Actually, I got like two, but anyway. So I was wondering if we can live off YouTube, because say if we are... Okay, so Singapore is quite small. If you think about it, right? Logically speaking, YouTube was created more in the States. So people who are more recognizable as an American, they probably will make more money because it's like, hey, I know my fellow American. But as Singapore, right, we're small. So I'm just wondering if you can live off like YouTube as a small Singaporean YouTuber, because we're all starting out from the conversations that I've been talking to, right? And if we all want to start, can this be a viable option, right? And if it's feasible, how feasible is it, right? And maybe also, could you share roughly how much you make so far?
Right. Hey, do you all want to take this question first? Where did you all start and then...
more towards him.
I mean, towards who?
Jit.
Yeah, Jit.
See you first. By one.
Yes, after Jit,
Sure.
feel free to share.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you earn off YouTube? Yes. Can you earn a living just out of YouTube revenue? The answer is yes. Right? You definitely can. All right. Should you only earn off YouTube? The answer is no. All right. Think about this, okay? I'll give you an example because this will also answer the second question, which is how much I make on YouTube. All right. At 700,000 subscribers, okay, how much do you think I make from ad revenue? I'll give you a little bit of numbers, okay? On average, you make about $3 per 1,000 views. All right, every 1,000 views is about $3. That's what my channel makes on average. Different channels will make different amounts because it depends on the kind of content. YouTube's ad revenue is always bid strategy. Advertisers have to bid. So if your content, for example, if it's finance related, health related, advertisers have deeper pockets, so they have to bid higher amounts, which means how much you make per 1,000 views could really go up high. Whereas self-development content, unfortunately, makes the least. It's about $2 to $3 per 1,000 views, right? So if I have 700,000 subscribers, how much do you think I make a month? Just a guess without doing math. Or how much would you expect me to make from YouTube?
Wait, you said that the video that was viral was
15 million views.
But that's accumulated from...
It's accumulative from 2018. Yeah, and you get paid on a monthly basis. Okay, while you think about that, I'll also give you a little bit of a food for thought. I used to make more money out of YouTube when I had 100,000 subscribers than I do now with 700,000. And I'm talking, I used to make almost, 5 times more when I had 100,000 subscribers than I do now. Because the views are not the same. My average view per channel is not the same as what it used to be. The views have dropped, subscribers still go up. How much I make now depends. Some months it's 500, which is crazy. For a channel of my size to make 500, it's really crazy. All right? But it is what it is. But then there are months where I make 1,000. There are months I make 1,002, 1,003. Okay? When my channel was at its peak, and to me, the peak of the channel was when I had about 100,000 to 150,000 subscribers. All right? I used to be making 5,000 to 6,000 a month from YouTube ad revenue. 100,000 was COVID pandemic. All right? It was, my channel blew up just before the pandemic, and all the way till, about 2 years there, it was hovering around there. Average for that 2 years was about 3,500 to 4,000. But the peak was 5,000 to 6,000. And that's what I was making. At that time, I was on top of the world, thinking I could live off YouTube for the rest of my life. And that's why I said, should you put all the eggs in this basket? No. Because it changes so fast. Algorithm changes. YouTube changes. Like I said, YouTube now wants to make more money. They want content creators to pay for advertisements themselves to boost the content. So because of all that, your views drop. So should you? The answer is no. Can you? Yes. It should be one of your revenue sources, right? But use the platform to really build up your community so that you can have other services to offer. So that's the key here. It's not about not doing YouTube. To me, YouTube is still an amazing platform, right? It's about how you use it. Yep. I hope I answered the question.
Okay, we can pass
Yes.
the mic and let's hear the rest as well.
So the first question is what? Can you live off YouTube?
Can you live off YouTube?
Right. So sorry. So basically, what excites me to join YouTube is because it's organic. It is something which it's what I do. Search engine optimization. Because we see Google is the most visited, second followed by YouTube. So among the panels here, I'm the lowest out of a subscriber count. But I did a 30-day challenge a few months back, and I earned 3K of revenue from this challenge. As you see, I don't even reach 300 subscribers because I have an offer to sell. So every video I kind of like pitch indirectly that this is the offer I'm selling, because throughout last year I have this $1 offer, crazy offer, trying to appeal to the masses. But in this 90 days challenge, it kind of like allowed me to make 3K. So I was like, So to answer your question, perhaps probably if you just started out, you cannot get monetized through YouTube, have something to sell. Because that's what I did, and it kind of worked. And if I were to double down, probably it can be stabilized income in the future while growing a YouTube channel. So yeah, that's probably what I think, that I believe it can work, because at the end of the day, I come from a business owner point of view. I am educating, I am advocating people to learn new things, to explore ways that they can market their businesses and their products. So another different perspective compared to Jit and probably other panelists to earn from YouTube itself and make a living, I would say. Yeah.
I think I would actually second that. I have like 4K subscribers, right? I think I barely earn like $150. And YouTube only pays out once you hit $150. And I don't think I've got my payout for quite a few months now. So yeah, AdSense is not, I do not see AdSense as a revenue at all. Actually, I rely more on like my business to actually get my own sort of income in. And I think last time I was very unclear on what I wanted to do on YouTube, right? So I actually didn't have an offer. I just wanted to create. But I was not funneling anyone to any of my offers, which I recently built late last year. So since then, yeah, I think the money has come, but again, not from AdSense. It's all gone through my own business. So I would definitely not only rely on AdSense. It can go up and down. And again, it's very dependent on views.
Yeah, I think AdSense monetization in terms of YouTube should be secondary if you want to go into YouTube. all of us are business owners. You have a lot of, I would say, knowledge to offer. So for me personally, why I go into YouTube is I wanted to have some kind of awareness about what I do, my services, about myself. And of course, again, back to the point that I mentioned earlier, I want to break my fear. So the person who's responsible is this guy lah, Jit lah. Okay, so my going into YouTube was, one, the only point is to break my fear talking to the camera. Another point is to be have that awareness, like digital awareness, digital presence. So other than Instagram, other than TikTok, other than LinkedIn, I feel that YouTube has the longevity. So I had a lot of opportunity in terms of earning from YouTube videos because they saw how I create videos, how I do the tutorials. So I work with a lot of organization to teach their, I would say, their organization to teach the videos for them, and got invited to through podcasts. So I feel that if you want to go into YouTube, AdSense shouldn't be the main goal, the first point that you go in. It should be as a digital presence for people to know what you do, what you can offer. Yeah, so always have the offer at the end. So how I earn from YouTube is, of course, through my services and passive income, like, Shopee, Amazon, no, YouTube, Shopee, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there's a certain requirements to hit lah. Because when you want to be in the AdSense or monetization through AdSense, there's a requirement that you need to hit. And I personally don't want to stress with the requirements. That if I were to be so stressed with the requirements, I feel that I will be burnt out after that. So if I want to, when you want to first start your YouTube channel, have that, I would say, the main goal, why you want to go inside it first. But definitely the AdSense will come lah, like what G says, it will come. But it will be a long journey.
Okay, so we heard a lot of them. Say I move around from front to the back. Okay. Any more questions? any more questions from the floor? So we have heard about monetization, ads. Sorry, I want to come here, be near the audio. Oh,
You need to be in the camera.
sorry, ma'am. Okay, as I was saying, we have talked about monetization, ads, numbers, algorithms. Don't join AdSense, join AdSense. Whichever side you take, it's up to you. Okay, so aside from that, any other questions that's nothing related to the money? See, that one is a very important question. Nothing related to money.
So this is a question for Jamie Lim. I follow you on TikTok initially. You were actually from TikTok. You were in the corporate role. So how do you make a transition, being in the corporate industry to a full-time content creator? And is there any pros and cons?
Yeah, I know we're not talking about money, but of course money is the biggest con in that certain sense. I think with corporate it was very, very stable, right? Every month you get something. And then now it's up and down, right? And I think when I was starting out, I interviewed Renee on my podcast, and this was one thing I asked. I was like, how do you deal with this? Because it's so difficult. I'm not used to it, even though I left, and I definitely had like fair bit of savings and all that, right? But cost of living in Singapore expensive and all that. So I think just learning how to deal with it. And when I went out, I was again quite naive. I just wanted to create for the sake of it. I really didn't have an offer, but after I've left 2 years ago, maybe only last year I started creating and learning how to build an offer. How do I do like a lead magnet? That kind of like online business side of things. I think that has been actually very, very interesting so far. Actually, I'm looking to go back into corporate now. So if anyone wants to hire me, just saying. Yeah, but I think it's just when I left, I had this dream like, okay, I want to create full-time. I want to earn my money full-time and all that. And honestly, it got to a point where I was so stressed about creating. I was like, I just need to create because I need to make money. But I feel like now when I go back, right, I take the stress off that. And then the creativity just comes. And I want to do videos again. But for a long while, I was just forcing myself. And humans, when we force ourselves to do things, it's always a chore lah. So I think it's very individual. It's up to you how you want to pave your path. I tried something, it didn't work for me, so now I'm just kind of like going back in that direction lah. But it's okay, right? I think it's a journey lah, and yeah.
Okay, hi, Renee. I got a question for you. Actually, I got a question for each one of you except for Jit. Maybe because I know Jit's story really. Okay, so so Renee first. Renee, so you share about how to create YouTube videos, what kind of videos you should do, and that kind of stuff, right? When you were starting out with 0 subscribers, do you feel any imposter syndrome, and how did you overcome that?
No, actually, I don't have any imposter syndrome because I have a person who is forcing me. But yeah, I think one lesson I learned, if I were to go back to how I first started, was I had the bias to take action. Meaning to say that I quit thinking, I quit talking, but I begin doing. So I think that's a very important thing to fight imposter syndrome. And I just do it. And I remember my first video, I was just staring at the lens, right? I was just talking without even like blinking my eyes. Then I had feedback from Jit, I had feedback from my nieces, like, why are you looking like a robot? So I was like, oh damn, like I should. Then I review back the videos. It will be very cringy, okay, when you see your first video, but it's a long process. And if I were to address the point where if you want to break your fear, when I first started, I had this post-it note. I cut like a window. I put on the lens of my camera, please smile. Yeah, because I have a resting toot face. So when I talk, right, I don't have that smiley face, I will be like talking like robot like that. So I will have that note telling me that smile, because it's different, Jit, when talking to the camera and talking like this in person. You have to be consciously remind yourself to smile, because people will see you like, so not connecting to me in that sense. Yeah, but I would say I don't have any imposter syndrome. Only later then am I like talking to my audience or not, So once you have that question, right, you have to fall back. Why do you first start your YouTube channel? Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is actually for Nazreen.
Can I just add on?
Sure, you add on first.
One point only to her. I'll tell you all what I told her. I don't know if she still remembers this. Anyway, who has less than 100 subscribers on your channel? Right? Less than 100? Okay, good. How are the views like? Below 100 views every video? Okay, below 10. All right? I'll tell you what I told her. All right? No one's watching your videos anyway. So who's going to see your mistakes? But the only way you can get better if you keep doing it. It's repetition. So keep shooting, keep putting it up. No one's watching, right? It's only you, but then you learn. Because every time you put a video, you will learn, because you will have to watch it back again. Like he said, it's cringy. But when you feel it's cringy, that's when you will make it better. Right? So just keep doing it. And then by the time your video actually starts getting some views and traction, guess what? It already looks good. Yeah, so just keep doing.
Okay, so Nazreen.
Oh, me. Okay.
Yes, the question that I have for you is, one of your video actually got viral. Like, why do Singaporeans need a car? I think that. So how are you capitalizing on that video? Seeing that you are still fairly new.
All right, so basically, the 90-day challenge, actually I had to credit for you, Jit, because she went to our podcast and then he talked about YouTube. So I got inspired, kind of like, I need to start YouTube back. But it took me a few months to even do this challenge. So I spread my niche, talking about every single thing. Talking about
like more than a year after I told you to.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know, my inspiration kind of died off halfway until I invested in VidIQ. So VidIQ kind of like there's a promo, I think Black Friday, I can't remember. Yeah, around those times. So I got a good deal. So I invest in optimization, can improve my thumbnails and stuff like that. And eventually the car topic came about, because I think I was just purchased a car early this year. Then I'll talk about, is it expensive and stuff like that. And eventually that has quite a few thousand views lah. So it's like, wow, okay, people like to know about cars in YouTube in Singapore. So that's probably a single niche. Because I talk about anything else, talk about I don't know, almost everything lah. But this car topic seems to be more attractive. So that probably make me want to pursue more. Probably, I don't know, but I know nothing about cars. It's just that I'm a car owner. Aside from that, I think when people like something or get more attraction on YouTube, they show interest in terms of the search intent. So they probably want to know about COE prices, for example. Then my video got recommended. So at the end of the day, it's all how you want to put across something out there. So based on my 90-day challenge, these are the few videos I got. Not say viral, but the most views. And then that can allow me to make an informed decision based on these analytics. So yeah, subscribe to vidIQ.
Have you made your second
Referral, give you a referral.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I will do my next car video after this. Right after this.
Okay. My last question is actually for Jamie. Okay, I see like you post like almost every other day.
Oh no.
And this is not just for YouTube. So my question is, how do you find the topics to create the content? Whether it's for Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, or YouTube?
I actually don't post every day. Actually, the problem I have now is that because I'm in my vlogging phase, right? The files are so big. And then I go home and I'm like, okay, it's very long. And then I have to transfer there, da da da. By the end of the day, I'm like, never mind lah. I will edit tomorrow. And then tomorrow I vlog some more. It is so much to go through. And then I'm quite long-winded also lah. So it ends up, then it compiles. But thinking of ideas, no, actually, I do talk to ChatGPT quite a fair bit. But just to brainstorm a little bit here and there. But recently, actually, I'm picking up golf. So trying to start to vlog about golf. Actually, really, I go where my interest brings me. Last time it was career stuff. Then it was self-development because I wanted to become a better person. And then now, it's just like sometimes questions I ask myself. I have this notebook, actually it's in my bag lah. I call it a waste book or something. And I have ideas I just kind of write down every time randomly I have a question. Would my audience like this? Okay lah, just write down lah. It doesn't matter, no good. So then don't do lah. But I think strategically, of course, know what your audience likes, what your audience wants to learn from you. I think you all did the dream creator, an exercise, right? Doing your target audience and all that. Something I also did for myself. And I think it has helped with sales and all that. But I also sometimes just want to create because I love creating. I love editing. So I think it's a balance. One, I create one video for my audience. And then the other one, I just create for me. And I just create whatever I want, whether it's a golf video or a self-developmental video. Then it keeps me happy lah in that regard. I think that's it. Ideas-wise, ChatGPT. Just brainstorm with ChatGPT.
Okay, so I got a question for everybody. What led you guys to press on, like on YouTube? And why not go to other social media channels? If say Jit mentioned that YouTube no longer cares about your success. Thanks.
YouTube kind of doesn't care about my success, but I still care for the success. I still care for the YouTube. I still think it's a great platform for long form videos. It's still easy for people to discover. Also because the channel is sitting at a place where you Google my name, the channel will come up. You Google anyone that I've had on the channel, their video will pop up, even if it's one because the channel is doing well. And because of that, there's no way I'll let the channel die as well. Right? Why have I not switched to other platforms? To me, for long form, I don't think there's a platform close enough. And that's partly the problem because YouTube doesn't really have a true competitor. And that's why it's a monopoly. All right. Do I use other platforms? I do. I think TikTok is a great way to organically build a community fast. So I cut up my snippets from YouTube, I put it up on TikTok, and then drives back for the full interviews on YouTube. So that's one way you can drive traffic. Insta is the same way. I'm not very active on Instagram, but TikTok I try to do a little bit more where I just cut up snippets to drive traffic back. So for me, that's it. That's why YouTube, I'll still continue making content for YouTube. And
So you need everyone to answer the question. Okay. So my answer to that is simply what I mentioned just now. The eyeballs on YouTube is basically the second largest visited website in the world. So why not leverage on that? Yes, there's competitors out there like Rumble, all these platforms, right? But for long forms, I think it's best to leverage on YouTube. It's free. What you need to do is just start. Mulakan. So yeah. So basically, I want to just mention to you guys, like, at the end of the day, don't think too much, like imposter syndrome, all these things, because imposter syndrome makes you think too much. Just start, just record. Maybe I'm myself to blame as well, because I kind of like delay, procrastinate because of the thought of doing it is, it's just yeah, exactly. So just start, don't care, just record and think later. And then you revise your captions or thumbnails later. So that's the optimization part lah. Other than that, YouTube is a place lah. You can also leverage others to funnel back to your long form, like what Jit said. I think that would be more a good way, a strategy to actually grow your channel. Yeah.
I think like all the short form videos, YouTube, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and what's the other one? Instagram. Sorry, my brain is a bit fogging already. LinkedIn also now is pushing vertical videos very, very hard. But short form videos are very much like a top of funnel. So it's like brand awareness. You want people to know more about you, but it's very quick snippets. You think about TikTok, right? It's very like I recognize the creator's face, but I don't know anything about the creator, because all you have is like 30 seconds or 1 minute to interact with the other person, right? Whereas when you think of YouTube, if you manage to funnel someone from the short form to the long form, that's where you are able to have more face time with that person. If you imagine you see me for 7 times of 1 minute, right, versus 7 times of 30 minutes. And my videos are not that long lah, but I have more face time with you. I then develop that relationship with you. So YouTube is a lot more for nurturing that relationship, and it's what I personally prefer. When my favorite YouTubers post on YouTube, I'm like, wow, yes, I'm going to watch no matter what they post about, because I already feel I know this person, TikTok, I'm like, okay lah, this person posts about this interesting, not interesting, it's just too easy in that regard. But I think both are quite important. You just need to sort of balance it out lah.
I'm still in the point where YouTube is longevity, and it's for distribution as well. Like what Jit says, the long form videos that you have, you just need to create one, and then you distribute to all the other platforms that you have: TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever lah that you have. So it's easier in that sense, because you just need to record once. And I feel that these days YouTube has a very slow editing, in a sense that you don't have to do like Mr. Beast kind of editing, like must be pom, very fast, like must B-rolls lah, must all this, no need. Okay, you just need to, if you fumble like you have a long pause, just cut lah that thing. So just cut, put caption, and that's it. If you think that there's some points that you need to emphasize, you might want to put text overlay, you might want to put captions, especially for those who maybe don't understand English or whatever that language that you are speaking, you might want to put caption. So I guess creating videos on YouTube now is much more easier compared to how I first started, because at that point of time, it was really about how fancy your editing is. Like must have a lot of B-rolls, must have a lot of like sound effects, must have a lot of what have you. But now I think it's really like slowing down, because people wants to see what you have to say. People wants to understand and capture the attention of what you want to say. So I guess that's a very important thing. And yeah, I think to all of you, have a bias to action. Do it. Okay. That's all.
Okay. The sound effect is very expensive, huh? Okay. Anyways, due to we want to respect the time. Is there any final questions on the floor? Oh, okay. Two questions. Okay.
Okay. So hello, I'm Sakina. So I started my social media agency like 6 months ago. And I started to like promote myself more on Instagram and then LinkedIn. But then now I realized that I need to find a better way, a strategy to create content for different platforms. So my intention to come here is to know how I can use YouTube as the main content, then I distribute to other platforms. And also, what are the 5 practical tips that I can do immediately after this? Okay, so maybe 3. 3, 5 itu banyak. 4, okay, 4. What?
5 is 1 hour.
Not one, must one.
Maybe 1 from each speaker lah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Sorry, what's the question? Okay, how do I distribute the content? Okay? So for me personally, my YouTube is my main content space. So whatever content that I want to create in whatever content pillars that I have. So now I talk a lot more about caregiving while running a business. I talk about being 40s because I'm in my 40s. And I also talk about YouTube insights for entrepreneurs. So with these 3 topics, right, I craft out content and have the first thought, which is YouTube. So from there, is either I take snippets from that long form video, or I can actually break down each topic and put it in short form videos and lead it back to the YouTube. So that's how I distribute to all my social media platforms from the YouTube videos itself. Yeah, whether it's writing or short forms or newsletter or even blogging. Yeah, just now you wanted to say something? Yes, I plan for YouTube first because YouTube is my main platform for content. Yeah, I'm the type where I work with long form and then I push it down to short form. I know my partner here, she can do from short forms and then she expand it. So you really have to find what is your comfort level. Do you actually be comfortable by creating short content and then you expand it and put it on YouTube? Or are you the type where you create for long form with the script and everything with point forms and then you shorten it down? Yeah, so find that your comfort level. Yeah, because I cannot just put to you like create long form and then distribute short forms. Cannot, because if I push it to her, she'll die because she cannot do that. So hers is short to long. Yeah, so that's different. And then another question, one tip. Have a bias to action. Again, another one. It's really have to do because you cannot just keep thinking and talking. You really have to do it to know the process to get better. Again, like what Jit says, it is going to be cringy. It will be cringy. You see my first video, you also cringe, I think, because it's the 4 years of journey. What I learned is I learned how to speak. I wouldn't say fluent, but I will learn to speak like how I speak usually. If you see me, person to person, like one to one, I used to speak the YouTube style where I have a high pitch, voice. Like, hey, this one not really smile lah. How Then the smile also like a bit fake. Yeah. So I from that 4 years, I learned how to put my personal, I would say my personal trait into the YouTube itself. Yeah. So take action. I like this quote from Walt Disney. I think it's the same like what I said just now. Quit talking, begin doing. Yes.
Didn't know what Disney said that. Oh, okay, learn something new. I think I agree with the one quick tip first, which is leverage AI. They have all these like tools like Opus AI where they can take one whole long thing and then use AI to cut the snippets for you. What else is there? Submagic. There's quite a fair bit out there that it's quite good. So I would leverage those if you're using like from long form to short form. I also used to do that. I used to do long form, then I would kind of like cut it up for vertical. But I recently don't really like it because generally if you do long form and then when you try to resize your image to short form, somehow your face becomes very big when you zoom in. So I didn't quite like it lah. But of course, so now if I want to create a short form video, I will just film in vertical specifically for that one. If I want to do a long form one, I will do it horizontally. There's also a frame rate, which is like a 4:3 frame rate. If you film in that, which is actually what I'm filming in now, when you expand it, right, to vertical, it is not so, your face doesn't get so big lah, basically. So you can explore that. But I like to film in that horizontally because it reminds me of like old school videos, very like nostalgic kind of videos. So yeah, that's what I'm like experimenting with now. So I just do one bit by one bit, but again, it's because at this point of time, that's just what I'm experimenting with.
Right. So on my part, I guess you have to trust that process, because I think that process is something that you need to like doing it. When I do my own challenge, I try to be gung ho. I want to record every day. I want to upload every day. But man, I got burnout. So I try to spread my recording into like probably for a few days, one record, because 90 days, right? It's very long. I cannot be possibly doing every single day. So I find my sweet spot around 2 to 3 videos per week. But that one is also quite rabak. So at the end of the day, I just trust the process, and eventually, the catching comes after that. And just think about, your success is just a platform away, and YouTube is the one. And if you believe it, manifest it, then may your success come. So you just trust that process, may the process comes to you. Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of sense. Help me understand your question, right? Is it for you starting a YouTube channel or running a YouTube channel to promote your business? Or is it a strategy that you're asking so that you can share with clients in terms of what is best practice for your business? So to promote your social media marketing agency, you want to start it, right? By right. Different platforms should have different content, right? Because the psychology of the people on those contents are different, right? That's by right. Okay, meaning long form goes on YouTube, tutorial videos, right? For yours, social media agency, right? Social media marketing agency, right? All right. So your long form should be a lot of tutorial videos, teaching people how to do stuff, right? Not there promoting your social media business, right? Because people want to learn, right? If all your videos are selling your services, after a while, no one wants to watch, right? So long form goes there, okay? Platforms like TikTok, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, it's bite-sized, right? Sure, you can repurpose long form into that, use like Opus, cut up short bits, it can go, it works, right? It works because I do that. At the same time, you can also consider doing different videos. For example, you do a whole tutorial video, right? Long form, 20 minutes, goes up on YouTube. You now do a vertical video. Hey, I recently put up a video on YouTube where I talked about the 5 marketing strategies for Facebook. Let me just give you a quick rundown of what these 5 points are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check out the full video. Done. Right? Why you want to do something like, or why do you want to consider doing something like that is, if people can watch all your long form in snippet forms, then why do they need to go and watch the long form? So there's always that thing to consider. Right? Like I said, this is best practice. I don't do it. All right? Because you cannot do it, but it's just something because you're new, you may want to consider doing it. So you create different kinds of content so that an Instagram user still wants to go to YouTube because the content is different. They still want to go to your TikTok because the content is different. So you're doing that. But the easier way is, do long form, put it in Opus, put it down there. Okay. Second question. What's one step to do now? All right. Look for a social media marketing agency that you want to model after. And this goes for everyone. Right? Remember these 2 words, model excellence. Right? Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Right? When you're new, don't try to figure it out all on your own. Right? Imitation is the best form of flattery. Right? Before you innovate, imitate first. All right? I modeled after TED Talks. I'm very proud of it. All right? I'm not shy to say it because that's what TED Talks was there for, to inspire other people. Anybody who wants to follow my channel, I'll be flattered because that means I've inspired you. All right? So instead of trying to figure it out, right, and reinvent, go and look for someone who's already doing well in your space. If you're running social media marketing, go to YouTube, go to TikTok. Who are the ones that is doing well, consistently posting, all right, and you like their style? Model after them, emulate them. Even the content, you can just see, right? Maybe 3 videos ago, they put out a content. Okay, now maybe you do it. Or 5 videos, or maybe go back to their archives. Look at what was their video that they put out same time last year. Now you do the same video. I mean, don't do word for word, but take the idea. Your personality matters. Right? So model after someone. It's the easiest and the most effective thing to do. All right? So yeah, that's it. You're welcome.
Okay, so final question, maybe for Jit first.
Okay.
So I guess most of us, we want to tell a story, or there's a reason why you want to come on YouTube, right? So speaking to a camera versus speaking to an audience as a speaker, which one is more painful?
Speaking to the camera is more painful than speaking to an audience. I can speak to a camera now, but it's very different than I speak to an audience, because I started off as a speaker, right? And I love the energy of a room. No matter how small or how big the room is, I feed off the energy of people. For me, the camera is lifeless. And because of that, it's really hard for me to get into the flow of my thoughts. Right? And in a live setting, if I make a mistake, it's psychological. All right? I probably made 100 mistakes in how I said something just now. Grammatically, I might have been wrong. I may have said the wrong word. I may have used the wrong sentence, and then I'm like just auto-corrected, but I move on fast. Goldfish memory. When I'm speaking to a camera, I catch everything. And then I'll stop, I'll pause. I'll be like, oh man. You all must see me when I'm doing an introduction with my guests, when I'm sitting and doing a podcast. There's 2 people. It'll take me at least 5 takes to get the introduction. Because at that point, I'm still very conscious that I'm doing the introduction for the camera. Right? But once I start talking to the person, all right, that's it. It's autopilot. Right? So for me, definitely harder for the camera. All right? For some people, it's the other way around, but practice makes perfect. The more you do something, the better you get at it. Simple as that.
Maybe I'm the opposite of Jit. I'm an introvert. I prefer speaking to that lens. Just imagine someone is behind that lens. This is also the main reason why I start the podcast with Hanafi, the Golden Nuggets. And because there are 3 of us, it kind of like, it helps us overlap our mistakes. And then with the guest over there, it's easy for us to speak to each other. So so I think that would be something I need to work on for public speaking. But I think on the introvert side of things, it would be, just imagine there's someone behind that lens, like a midget or something, then that's your audience. Yeah, it's a coping mechanism.
I am a camera person. I love talking to the camera because it's just me, myself, and I. If I screw up, it's just that. And the best thing is editing saves your life. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Actually, I started off with a teleprompter. So all my videos in the start, very at the beginning, no teleprompter. Then after a while, transition to teleprompter. I still have a teleprompter for videos that are like branded deals, right? You need to say things. I just put it on teleprompter. Then I have learned how to act in front of a teleprompter, so I look like I'm not reading. And it's just much easier for editing purposes lah. But like now on my vlogs, there's no teleprompter. I'm just me, and I find that actually with all that practice I had, it makes me a better speaker when I'm talking to others. Also, so it's a mix of both lah. I'm quite comfortable with both now. But if I need to be very succinct, I'm running out of time. Okay, teleprompter. Yeah.
Having experienced both, first of course the video, and then as a speaker, I feel that I can do both now, because like what Jit said, he also trains me how to be a speaker. Is you can you know that you make mistake, but you just move on to it. But when it comes to doing video, you have to have a lot of, for me as an introvert like Nazreen, I need to have a lot of like mindset. Okay, I'm recording a video today. I need to put in all the energy to myself because I need to talk to the camera. By the time I finish recording the video, I'll be like, I'm done. I'm exhausted. I need to take kopi break. No, I don't drink coffee. And I take teh tarik break and just be a whale and lie down. But when it comes to like speaking, practice makes perfect, like Jit say. So just keep on practicing, and even if you mistake along the way, if you have a mistake along the way, it's just like you just move on. It's the tiredness is not as much as recording videos now. So yes, thanks Jit. You did a good job for me. Thanks. Good trainer. You looking for to be a speaker? We have a program for you.
Please click the link now.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do we still have time? Can I ask?
Yeah, sure. The final after that must move on already.
You have a channel as well, right?
Never mind. You just ask a question first. That one later.
Because if not, I want to include you in the question.
Camera.
All right. My question is simple, right? Renee, if you could do things differently, go back and do things differently, what would you? 30 seconds. If you could go back and do things differently, if one thing you could do differently, what would it be? How many years have you been doing your YouTube?
4 years.
Okay, so if you could go back to 4 years ago and do one thing differently to make it better, what would it be?
Consistently doing it, because I took a break like 1 year after going into YouTube for 1 year because I felt burnout and I was doing like a lot of I was focusing a lot on quality videos. Quantity videos, not quality. So I feel that if I were to go back, it has to be consistent. Because like you said, the views drop.
Okay.
Very drastically.
Perfect. Jamie?
Oh, wow. What would I do differently? Maybe the same, consistently. Because I think I spread myself too thin. Because everything new come up. TikTok, go on. LinkedIn, okay, very on LinkedIn. No. Like, I think it's best to just stick to one platform, and I would definitely choose YouTube. YouTube is my love. Yes.
Thank you. Nazreen?
As for me, I think start earlier. Because the end of the day,
so if you could go back from the time you started, you tell your person start earlier.
Because if you think about it, your success comes also when the algorithm is, in the COVID era, and that's where people are online, people are indoors. So you capture that period. But I think the end of the day, the best time is to start now. Yeah.
So don't be like Nazreen. 5 years later, say that I should have started 5 years ago. Start today, yeah? That's the thing. Okay, AJ. No. What would you do differently?
What? I think after this, I purchase, then I cancel.
Fantastic. And I'll answer that same question myself. If I could do something differently from the time I started, it would be to build an email database. All right, from the get-go, build your database. Don't rely on YouTube to help you stay connected to your users. They don't do that at all. So you can have 700,000 subscribers, but you still have no way to connect with them and reach out to them. So my mistake, did not build an email database. So have something to build your email database. Have your lead magnet, give a free ebook, doesn't matter. Build your own database. Inform your own people every time you have a new video, right? And stay connected with them that way. That would be what I would do differently.
Okay, yes. Even though, yes, our panel discussion is over, but of course, later on, if you want to have any personal questions, please reach out to the panelists.